What is happening, guys, and welcome back to the channel. For today's discussion video, we actually have quite a lot to talk about, and it's mainly got to do with Transformers Rise of the Beasts and some character designs that we're going to be seeing in that movie. So today we got revealed two brand new deluxe figures. I'll be sure to include the source down in the description box below. One's proven to be a little more controversial than the other, and I've been asked so many times what are my thoughts on said character, so I thought I'd just make a video, clear the air, give you guys my initial thoughts and feelings on these character designs, and then we'll just see what happens after that in regards to actual CGI, as at the moment we've only got action figures, and we know that 9 times out of 10 some of these first couple of figures are never truly what the characters look like when they hit the big screen. So first of all, we're going to be discussing the deluxe class Nightbird reveal. Now, I was invited to the production kickoff event around about June last year, and I was shown a few concept art, and one of those was of Nightbird, and just comparing this from my memory to this deluxe figure, I actually think they've done a pretty good job. Now, I was under the impression that she had dreads, and I can kind of see that still in the way the helmet's been designed. I mean, you can see a few different kind of angular pieces to the lower part of the mask. I mean, it's very G1 accurate. I mean, I'll give it that. The head design does definitely look like that kind of robotic ninja that was produced for the 80s series, and I like the way that looks. She really does remind me of Shatter, so I'm wondering as to whether or not the CGI model was based on Shatter's design. I mean, that was such a fantastic Decepticon in the Bumblebee movie. It's such a shame they killed that character off, but it does appear as if though they're going to kind of be carrying over a few design traits here with this Nightbird, and she looks pretty cool. They've kind of tried to create this almost samurai skirt by utilizing a few of her vehicle mode components, and truth be told, I don't think it looks too bad at all. Now, it's not confirmed whether or not these are mainline Rise of the Beast figures or if they're Studio Series versions. I think they're probably mainline. I don't think that Wheeljack and Nightbird have been rumored to come out in the first couple of waves of Studio Series, so I think we're looking at potentially mainline deluxes. And I mean, considering these are the first figures, are they going to be 100% accurate? Who knows? But this one does look pretty nice. I particularly like the foot design. I mean, the way they've kind of given her these high heels look kind of sweet. Like I said when I did my video way back in June last year, she does still have the sword as well as that kind of bayonet weapon, very Predator-esque, and I really like the way that this bot mode looks overall. And here we have an image of her in the vehicle mode. Now, I do believe in the movie she's going to be an officially licensed Nissan Skyline R33 GTR, and it does appear as if though this vehicle, this deluxe figure, is unlicensed. I mean, it kind of resembles it, but it's all got to do with the sharper details. So this doesn't have the rear spoiler by the looks of things. The color scheme appears to be pretty off. I mean, for some strange reason, they're using this kind of golden brown color, and I mean, I don't think it looks bad by any means, but it doesn't look as dark as she actually appears on set. Again, we'll just have to wait and see how the color grading appears in the movie, etc. But there are just a few details which are different between the figure and the actual vehicle, which leads me to believe that this is not licensed. But still, I mean, it's pretty nice. We've seen them approach non-licensed vehicles in past movies, such as Dino. You know, his Studio Series version wasn't an officially licensed Ferrari, and the same could be said for Sideways. He wasn't an Audi, but their vehicles were pretty close. I mean, it gets the job done, and I do like the paint details. In particular would be the metallic silver, and I do like the rear kind of window we have. So that is basically Nightbird. Definitely a pretty cool figure and a great update on that original G1 design adapted into live action. Now we're going to talk about the character, which has definitely been a hot topic all throughout today. The amount of memes I've seen on this is just absolutely mind-blowing, and it is the reveal of Wheeljack's robot mode design. Now, we did see him very briefly in the Rise of the Beast teaser trailer. We basically got a back shot, and from that back shot, many of us were able to kind of depict that he perhaps wasn't going to look as faithful as we saw him in Bumblebee. He did have door wings. The head appeared to be a lot more circular when in comparison to kind of the cuboid design he had due to the ears sticking out in the B movie, and this figure pretty much confirms that Wheeljack is going to have a massive makeover, and he basically looks nothing like his original G1 version. He has these massive kind of dorky geeky glasses, which I actually personally really like. He's got a much more humanoid faceplate. I mean, there's actually no faceplate, to be honest. He has a mouth. Like Optimus Prime, he does have a mouth. I do like the cap that he appears to have, and to be honest, he looks like Donatello from some of those Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies. That was the first thing I thought when I saw this image. He definitely does look like Donatello, and I honestly don't mind it. I actually like this. Now, we've seen G1 Wheeljack in the past. We saw it in the Bumblebee movie, so that's kind of been done. Had they just recycled that here for this film, yes, it would have been nice, but I am kind of glad they're giving us something different. I actually think this Wheeljack is going to have a ton more personality than we're all expecting. That's why they've given him a mouth, to make him a little more emotive than kind of the face shield that we saw in the Bumblebee movie. I mean, could have they kept the ears? Absolutely, and he still could have the ears. Like I said, this is one of the first deluxe figures. This could be potentially based on very early concept art, and who knows, those glasses could maybe flip around the sides and actually create his ears. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it is a big change, I'm not going to lie, and I know it's not going to resonate too well well with the vast majority of fans, especially if you were kind of hoping that this movie would go in the same direction as we saw from Bumblebee. It does just appear as if though this film is going to be mainly a mix of the Michael Bay designs that we saw back in the day, especially if the Cheetor robot mode design is anything to go by, and the Optimus Prime mouth guard. Here we have a full image, and it does appear as if though this will be pretty accurate to the CGI design like we saw in the trailer, and overall I actually quite like the body. I do like the way this looks. Much like Nightbird, this does appear not to be an officially licensed Volkswagen. You can see that where the headlights kind of are, and it doesn't have the VW logo where the Autobot logo is, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have got the license for the Volkswagen. We've seen them do collabs with them in the past, the Netflix Bumblebee, all of the Bumblebee movie Bumblebees that we saw back in 2018, so that is really unfortunate, I'm not going to lie. I was hoping for a proper accurate Volkswagen van, but I mean, this robot mode looks pretty sweet. He does include kind of this drill bit as a gun. I mean, I like it. Again, doesn't look too accurate to the blaster that we very briefly see him use in kind of that battle sequence towards the end of the last trailer, but I mean, it looks alright. And here we have an actual image of the van mode, which to me I think looks fantastic. This does look to be a very fun deluxe. At least it's going to be that. It's going to be a fun design. Whether or not many of you guys like it, I do think it's going to be one of the more interesting live action movie designs we've seen. And I mean, he turns into a van. What is there not to love? Very similar to Ironhide, you know, the old G1 Ironhide Nissan van. Liking the way this looks. Again, not officially licensed, but I think the details, much like Nightbird, are close enough to the point where you can immediately identify as to who he's supposed to be. So overall, I like it. I mean, yeah, it's a mix-up, you know, Wheeljack having door wings, very similar to Bumblebee, Wheeljack having glasses. I mean, I guess they're going for that whole kind of inventor motif, and if anything, this is kind of a throwback, or I guess a nod to who Wheeljack should become in the Michael Bay movies, that being Q. Q was very kind of Albert Einstein inspired when he had those glasses and monocle, so whether or not this is going to be kind of a prequel to Q, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but two very nicely designed looking deluxe figures. The Rise of the Beast toy line just as a whole so far is looking to be pretty promising, and these two deluxes, whether or not you like the designs, do look pretty cool. I'm intrigued to see whether or not that kind of vehicle mode kibble will be restrictive on Nightbird. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but overall, nicely done, I think, in terms of figures. Let me know what you guys think of the designs overall. Wheeljack in particular, I know is going to be very divisive, but Nightbird, I think, is definitely a little more G1 orientated as far as their design goes, and it does kind of beg the question as to why they did decide to stray so far away from the original design of Wheeljack that we saw in the Bumblebee movie. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, be sure to sound off down in the comment section below, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.